And for more, I want to bring in Julia Manchester. She's a reporter for The Hill, and she joins us now. So, Julia, before today, the president has been uncharacteristically measured about the allegations since they surfaced. Why do you think he's speaking now at this point?
You know, it seems like the president is really getting rattled over these allegations and how this process has really been drawn out. I think the president originally thought that before the midterms, he would be able to get a second conservative on that court, fulfill his campaign promise, a Republican campaign promise, and really help the Republicans going into the midterms. However, this scandal has really overshadowed all of that, and a lot of Republicans, including the president, are concerned at this point over this. So this is really signs that the president is rattled. But one thing I'd also like to point out is that it seems like, you know, a lot of critics have been saying that these tweets show that the president has a bit of a misunderstanding of sexual assault, misconduct or harassment victims and the reporting mechanism and all of that. And that won't play well for other Republicans around the country running. I mean, I think Republicans are really looking to get key voting groups like suburban women really to come out and support them. But comments like this aren't going to help them going into the midterms.
And then we have former Vice President Joe Biden today on the Today Show weighing in. He was asked about his own experience when he chaired the Senate Judiciary Committee under the Anita Hill testimony. I want to play a bite for you from that.
The woman should be given the benefit of the doubt and not be abused again by the system. My biggest regret was I didn't know how I could shut you off as you were a senator and you were attacking Anita Hill's character. Under the Senate rules, I can't gavel you down and say you can't ask that question, although I tried. And so what happened was she got victimized again during the process. I hope that they understand what courage it takes for someone to come forward and relive what they believe happened to them and let them state it, but treat her with respect. Ask tough questions, ask substantive questions, where were you, what said, who said what, etc. But don't go after not the character assassination.
Julia, is this concern about senators grilling Dr. Ford one of the reasons why there's now this push to have outside counsel involved in questioning?
Yeah, there is a huge concern over that. And there's also a concern over the FBI investigation as well. I think, you know, when Anita Hill testified some 20 years ago before the Senate Judiciary Committee, there had been an FBI investigation put in place in order to create a bit of a framework for senators asking those questions. Yes, however, it seems like a lot of Republicans on the committee are looking to really push this through and avoid this. However, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
You know, meanwhile, the president is delaying his own order to declassify documents from the Russia investigation. Is this an unusual walk back from the president? And do we know exactly why he chose to make this decision?
Yeah, it's absolutely a little unusual because the president, as well as many of his Republican allies on Capitol Hill, have been pushing for these documents that allegedly show a bit of a bias on the FBI in that investigation. They want those to be revealed. However, the president kind of indicated that U.S. allies were having concerns over the release of these documents, and he said that it could potentially paint the Mueller investigation maybe more of a negative light. But the president definitely taking a bit of a more unusual backtrack on this.
And CBS News has also learned, in addition, that the president's former attorney has been interviewed numerous times just over the past few weeks by Robert Mueller's team. How concerning of a headline is this for the president himself?
Yeah, if that report is true, that would be very concerning for the president. It's just another bit of a letdown for him over these past couple of weeks. His former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, who had been very tight-lipped, very loyal to the president throughout his trial and the investigation, recently reached a plea deal with Mueller's team. So just yet another person that was close to the president who has kind of turned around and said they would cooperate with this and tell Mueller what they know about what happened in the campaign and potential contacts between the Trump campaign and Russia.
And it's hard to ignore, Julia, that all of this obviously is coming as we approach midterms. Just yesterday, the president was in Las Vegas rallying his base. I want to play a bite for you from that rally.
You got to vote. We need more Republicans. You know, when they say we have a majority, it's like this. It's like this. If somebody has a cold, we don't have a majority that day. It's like we have to have more Republicans in office. We'll get everything we want so fast.
So is that a sign that the president's starting to get worried?
Yeah, so I think the president, he kind of has given mixed signals this week. He actually talked to some of my colleagues from the Hill earlier this week and said that he believes a red wave is still coming. However, I think there is some concern because Democrats continue to generally lead on the generic ballot, and his approval ratings continue to be somewhat between the 40s and the 50s, and his disapproval ratings are over 50%. So we're seeing that in an election that's going to be a referendum on his first 2 years in being president, the energy is definitely on the Democratic side, and polls are certainly indicating that.
Julia Manchester, grateful you can join us.
Thank you.